The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is brought to you by Aspire Counseling Services. Call 829-7300. Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning. Will it really start next week? A former elementary school principal who is now accused of murder is due in court. How much longer we have to wait before the trial gets underway?
Kern County and its firefighters union remain stalled in contract negotiations. The county focused on reducing the deficit, the union asking for a raise. Today we could learn the next step.
The countdown to the last day of school is on, but when summer vacation hits, what should your students be doing to make sure they don't start next school year already behind? We'll have some tips from some educators whose names you just might recognize on this Tuesday, May 21st, 2019. Good morning. Great to have you with us. It's 5 a.m. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher and Kevin Charette.
Yeah, he is back from solving, and he brought back some cookies for us.
Yeah, where are they? They go great with my coffee.
They would go good with your coffee. They're kind of those buttery cookies, those Dutch buttery cookies. So enjoy. Yes, back until next month when we're on the road again. And I got back just in time because more weather is on the way. It's been a crazy May, and it's going to continue, and more rain. So let's get right to it and show you what we've got going on here. You can see on the satellite radar, we cleared out overnight, but we will see the increasing clouds and the increasing chance of showers as we go throughout our Tuesday here. Temperatures will be into the 60s, and you can see we increase the chance of showers throughout the afternoon. 41 degrees in the Tehachapi area. It is breezy with that west-northwest wind at 23, and you can see throughout the day we increase the chance of showers for you as well, and temperatures will be right near 50.
This morning, several teenagers were hurt in a two-car crash near Centennial High School. It happened just after 7 last night on Hageman Road, west of River Lakes Drive. Bakersfield police say a black Mustang and white pickup truck slammed into each other. Police say 2 teens in the cars suffered moderate injuries. No word on how they're doing this morning. BPD's investigating what caused the crash.
A former elementary school principal accused of killing her husband is due in court this morning. Leslie Chance is charged with murder in the death of her husband, Todd. You may remember he was shot to death in an orchard off Enos Lane in August 2013. Police arrested Chance days later, but prosecutors didn't file charges. Officers arrested her for a second time in December 2016, and she was charged with murder. Since then, the case has been postponed several times. The new trial is now set to begin a week from today. This morning, we're expected to find out if that will indeed happen. We'll have an update for you coming up on the news at noon. 2 years to the day since a tragic double homicide, and still no breaks in the case. Bakersfield police say on May 21st, 2017, someone shot and killed 23-year-old Ronald Shepard and 19-year-old Alexis Tadeo, Elia, while they were inside a court on Morin Court. That's in a neighborhood just south of the Valley Plaza Mall. Elia died in the car. Shepard got out, ran down the street, and died on Conventry Drive. If you have any information about this shooting, you're asked to call police at 327-7111 or remain anonymous by calling the secret witness line at 322-4040.
5:04 now. Kern County and its firefighters union remain at an impasse in contract negotiations. So what happens next? The county wants more than $3 million in cuts to overtime pay. That would help reduce the $9 million deficit in the fire fund. But the union wants a 25% pay raise over the next 5 years. Today, supervisors will decide whether or not to call in an independent third-party mediator.
They took a strong line on the position that they had. We came to the table willing to make certain adjustments to things, and they just simply weren't willing to give any ground.
We've reached a point where fiscally it's critical mass. We have to make changes.
For us, it's both taxpayer money, whether it comes from the general fund or the fire fund, and it needs to be addressed because at the end of the day, when the general fund backfills the fire fund, you're still taking away from other county departments and their ability to provide services to the public.
Those comments from our Saturday on Kern County In Depth discussion. If a mediator gets called in and there's no agreement, county supervisors could vote to impose their last and best offer on the firefighters union.
New drama between the Trump administration and California is heating up. This time, it's over money owed to state fire departments. The U.S. Forest Service owes California about $9.3 million for the 2018 fire season. But the Forest Service claims the state has overbilled Uncle Sam. So it wants to change wants changes to be made to a contract for next year. This all comes as the state is, as of yesterday, now officially in fire season. Former Kern County Fire Chief Brian Marshall says the new billing process would be a bureaucratic burden to local fire departments.
This is the result of the Forest Service failing to pay local government fire department in a timely manner.
A recent federal audit of the Forest Service found it was slow to pay out on nearly half of its mutual aid contracts. This despite the federal government owing 60% of the forested land in California. The current contract expires at the end of the year.
It's 5:06 now. 2 deaths in just 24 hours. For a 25th time this season, a horse has died at the Santa Anita Racetrack. The thoroughbred named Spectacular Music broke his pelvis during a race Sunday. Racetrack officials say he was euthanized after a comprehensive exam. You may remember the track closed for 3 weeks in March after the first 22 horses died. The track introduced new rules regulating the use of whips and medication earlier this month, but 3 horses have died since the track reopened. Some insiders believe wet weather has been causing more horses to get hurt and die.
This morning, we're learning the outcome of a fraud investigation into the former business manager of the Taft Union High School District. You may remember last October, the Kern County Superintendent of Schools opened an audit into an out-of-state bank account opened by the business manager. The office wanted to determine if he used the account for unauthorized activity. Yesterday, the Fiscal Crisis and Management Assistance Team reported its findings. The report doesn't say whether the actions were considered fraud, but it did recommend changes to the district's financial practices. The Taft Union High School District Superintendent agrees previous fiscal practices weren't what they should have been, adding the district is working to create stronger accountability.
Summer vacation's almost here for local students, but with that vacation comes a 3-month break from education.
17's Mary Kate Paquette sat down with some local teachers who also happen to be parents of several of us here on the Sunrise team to find out how students and parents can best prepare for the next school year. Good morning, Mary Kate.
Good morning. That's right. My mom, Tabitha's dad, and Alex's dad all teach different grade levels. Here's what they had to say about studying up for next school year.
As the school year comes to an end, students are shutting off their brains and gearing up for 3 months of summer fun. We looked to some teachers who also happen to be 17 Sunrise parents for advice on how kids can stay as sharp as a pencil throughout the long break.
I think that in order to provide an adequate foundation for the kids, all families need to consider how they can expand the experiences that kids are receiving.
My mom, Angela Paquette, started her educational career 30 years ago. From teaching in the classroom to becoming principal and educating at the collegiate level, she's seen it all.
The first thing that I would suggest to parents is that they try to maintain some sort of a regular routine in their home during the summer.
Currently a 6th grade teacher at Castle Elementary, her best piece of advice to study up for the next school year: stay busy and keep your mind working.
I also would suggest that they have regular routines in their home where they have quiet time during the day, a set-aside time where they either have to read quietly on their own or maybe pursue some sort of artwork, or even better, some sort of online academic program like a Khan Academy.
Khan Academy is an online learning resource that offers practice exercises and instructional videos in a range of subjects. My mom also suggests Epic. It's basically an online library for elementary students with thousands of books available at the touch of a button. Online resources like these also come highly recommended by 17's Alex Fisher's dad, Ryan Fisher, who teaches 7th grade math at Rosedale Middle School.
Anything you can do to keep them learning during the summer is beneficial.
Mr. Fisher's career in education spans 26 years. His biggest tip for teaching: use real-life experiences.
Go to the store and just get them involved with maybe trying to estimate or do rounding in the store as you're getting products and stuff. A lot of kids don't know what the price of gas is or a gallon of milk. Just getting them familiar with that and basic things that we use every day.
Perhaps the most challenging demographic to keep minds motivated: high schoolers.
My advice to parents is when you get home, have a daily conversation with your kids. Hey, how'd your day go? What'd you do?
Donald Mills, 17's Tabitha Mills' dad, has spent the last 12 years teaching agriculture at Arvin High School. Mr. Mills says students need to keep their brains working even on vacation.
Kids should always continue to develop their skill sets, even over the summertime. We have to get these kids and encourage these kids to get back to that type of mental growth attitude where they know that it's important for them to continue learning every day.
The three teachers have a lot of other great advice to help get students prepared for the upcoming school year, from educational to social. For more, head to our website, kget.com.
What's funny is we also have a Mr. Jansen, who is a teacher as well. So as you can tell, education super important to us here on Sunrise.
Super important.
I mean, I remember as a kid, during summer, my dad always gave me, assignments to do during the summer.
He said that he used to have you guys go get those workbooks, and we used to, it was like our summer treat at the beginning of the summer. We got to go to Barnes & Noble and find whatever workbook we wanted to work on for the summer, but sneakily teach us, I guess, throughout the summer.
It doesn't have to be a traditional learning, sitting down. Make it fun, make it more interactive, as long as they're discovering and using their brains in some way.
Yeah, kind of like what Tabitha's dad was saying, especially for the older kids. Get them involved in cooking and get them involved in doing some things around the house. Your dad also mentioned that too, just because they're at that age where that is such an important skill set to also be learning, not just how to do basic math or whatever it is. It's also learning those life lessons. So
put in the skills that they've learned in the classroom to use too during the summer. So
yeah, absolutely.
All right, great advice.
Hi, I'm Scott with Aspire. I want to personally thank Kern County for trusting Aspire with being a part of your family's recovery. At Aspire Counseling Services, we take this opportunity very seriously and would be honored for your continued support. Call us today.
Welcome back. It is 5:22 now, and as summer approaches and new drivers get ready to hit the road, the Highway Patrol is offering another one of its Start Smart classes. It's happening at 6 o'clock tonight at the CHP office on Compagnoni Street. The free 2-hour class is targeted toward teens, but parents are also welcome and encouraged to attend. The class covers important issues like safe driving habits, consequences of a poor choice behind the wheel, and tips on how to avoid a crash. And the CHP wants to make sure seniors keep their driving skills sharp as well. The Age Well Drive Smart class has free lessons to help seniors avoid potentially deadly crashes. It also talks about alternative modes of transportation when driving is no longer an option. The class is happening at 9 o'clock this morning at the CHP office on Compagnoni Street. If you're interested in attending, call CHP at 396-6600 to register.
5:23 now. Stepping in to save the day, 3 bystanders rescued a kitten caught in the storm system. But as 17's Karen Waugh explains, City Animal Control has a different message for how the public should interact with stray cats.
The kitten was stuck in a storm drain for more than 8 hours, but now it's found a new home.
It was pouring Saturday afternoon when Michelle Fabry was shopping at the Northwest Promenade.
As soon as I got out of the car, I could just hear its cries.
This black and white kitten, about 4 weeks old, was at the bottom of this storm drain, 10 feet deep.
There was like a little mound of dirt on the side where the kitty was sitting, and the water was just rushing through.
After numerous calls to the fire department and even 911, Bakersfield City Animal Control arrived.
She said, I stuck a couple poles down there, but we couldn't get it. She said she wouldn't go in the hole. It's like, well, that's not their job. Well, I'm wondering, whose job is it? She also responded that they're overpopulated with cats in that area anyway.
That's when Fabry took action.
I said, we have to get this baby out. My husband said, yeah. So we came home, got a ladder, a crowbar, flashlight, towel.
Fabry's husband pried off the cover with a crowbar, then placed a ladder into the hole.
I just barely fit, so I went down and I just grabbed her and we came up.
Fabry has since named the kitten Miss Cleo. Cleo joins 6 other rescue cats and several rescue dogs at their home.
I feel like as a human, having the capability of helping them, that's what we have to do. We just can't, leave them on the streets to fend for themselves.
However, when we reached out to City Animal Control, they advised for the public's safety to leave feral cats alone. They said cats are typically capable of rescuing their own kittens. However, Fabry says her rescue was a last-ditch effort.
I don't know what their responsibility is, but if Animal Control has no responsibility to help the life of a little kitten, I mean, who does?
Fabry says she plans to keep Cleo in her family. I'm Karen Waugh, 17 News.
Back in your Business Watch, yet another brick-and-mortar retailer is shuttering its doors. Dress Barn is closing all 650 stores nationwide. That includes the Bakersfield location on Rosedale Highway. Dress Barn opened its first stores back in 1962, but the clothing chain has been in the red for a while. There's no word yet on when the stores will close. Bakersfield Yogis will soon have a new studio to choose from for classes. Yoga 6 is getting ready to open its doors at the Marketplace on Meade Avenue, right across from Bank of America. The yoga studio is based out of Orange County and has locations in 8 states. The Bakersfield studio is set to open this fall.
The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is brought to you by Aspire Counseling Services. Call 829-7300.